how's it going, everybody? I'm Civil Warrior, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be doing a champion review for Mr. Fantastic.
She call me Mr. Boom, fantastic.
Now, as you guys know, the Fantastic Four came out in 2019 in this game. And yeah, so I would be doing Mr. Fantastic last, probably save the leader for last because I haven't done Invisible Woman yet. But eventually we'll do all the Fantastic Four. Plus Doctor Doom and plus more Fantastic Four villains and etc. But yeah, so champion reviews I really need to step up my game on because I have missing so many, and every month I just have more that I have to do. But yeah, so I just wanted to start with Mr. Fantastic because I'm really happy I got a 5-star of him. I do have some new 5-stars, including in my third 6-star, because somehow, in some magical universe, I was able to pull 3 very OP 6-stars for my first 3. So that's really exciting for me. And yeah, so I think we'll just start with Mr. Fantastic. So yeah, if you guys do not know, which you really should, if you guys do not know the Fantastic Four, the first issue for Fantastic Four was 1963. I think in 1962 or 1963. I actually have the first issue of the Fantastic Four to be released in that time period. I have Fantastic Four #1, which is also the first comic book to be published under the Marvel name. So that thing is very rare. So I'm very proud of that. But yeah. So Mr. Fantastic, aka Reed Richards, is literally one of the smartest people in the Marvel universe. Probably the top smartest. Top 3 is, of course, Tony Stark, Reed Richards, and Hank Pym. But yeah, as you can see by his signature abilities, the smartest man in the battle realm. That means something, just so you guys know. Yeah, so in this game, something really cool about the Fantastic Four, specifically in this game, is their synergies. But I think we'll go ahead and get into that later, later in this review. But yeah, also, I did just record a video for the Punishing Arena, and it makes me really mad because I recorded like 25 minutes of it, and it didn't record. So that makes me really upset, but hopefully it won't do the same with this one. I'll check it every once in a while. But, yeah, so I think we'll just go ahead and get started with Mr. Fantastic's abilities. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and get started. So, we do not have a signature ability, but if I did, I would show it off. But normally, if we have the signature ability but not of the highest star, we will go and look at it in another on another star of the character if that has it. But in this case, we do not have another Mr. Fantastic, so we'll just have to make do. But abilities, most of his abilities come from his evade and unblockable and pre-fight abilities. So passive abilities for physical and energy resistance. It's increased by 814.29 in general, so that's just increased in general. There's nothing you have to do to increase that, to put that increase on this character. And a 5% chance to evade for each non-damaging debuff on either champion. This does not trigger during a well-timed block, so if you parry, you will not get the evade. But for each non-damaging debuff on either your opponent or you, if it's non-damaging, damaging debuffs are things such as Incinerate or Shock or Bleed. Non-damaging debuffs are just other debuffs, Precision or Cruelty, stuff like that. But attack rating is also increased by 34.25 for each debuff on the opponent. So that does not matter if it's a damaging debuff or not. That's just debuffs in general. Prepared for anything is his pre-fight ability. So I think all that is true. All the Fantastic Four in this game, except for Thing, for some reason have a pre-fight ability. Pre-fight abilities are really good, but it's just for some reason Thing does not have one. But yeah, so before the fight, you can choose up to 3 unique debuffs to place on the opponent at the start of the fight. Next fight, each debuff costs 1 persistent charge. These persistent charges have a max of 5. Mr. Fantastic starts with 2 persistent charges, and when Mr. Fantastic finishes a fight, he gains 1 persistent charge for each unique debuff on the opponent, so it has to be unique to this character. These debuffs last 12 seconds and are refreshed when the opponent's knocked down. The debuffs are applied even if a different champion enters the fight, so that is really cool. So Mr. Fantastic, his pre-fight abilities are really good because they apply to other champions on your team. And prepared for anything, pre-fight debuffs, max is 3 each. The Petrify debuff, which Petrify reduces the effectiveness of the regeneration and power gain effects by 35% for the opponent. And suppress the opponent, decreasing the defensive combat power rating rate by 22%. Petrify is probably the Petrify and this one I'm about to list is probably the best ones. Debuff Siphon the opponent, increasing the potency of damage over time debuffs on them by 22%, and reducing the potency of those effects on allies by the same amount. This does not affect abilities that trigger at the start of the fight. But, however, it just basically increases the amount of damage over time for things such as Bleed and Incinerate. Opponents activate a special attack. When the opponent activates a special attack, it places an indefinite Careful Study debuff on them for that special attack. And Careful Study debuffs lower the attack rating of each hit in the special attack by 25%. If Mr. Fantastic was struck by the last hit of the special attack, place one additional copy of the debuff, so you get an additional one if you get hit by the last part of a special attack. And all copies of debuff are purified when the opponent activates a different special attack that the one that triggered the debuff. Careful Study is a crossfight ability. When the opponent has 3 copies of Careful Study debuffs, these Careful Study debuffs are represented by a number on the opponent. And when the opponent has 3 copies of Careful Study debuff, they are combined into a passive that lasts for the rest of the fight, and then the next 5 fights the opponent participates in. Careful Study passive count 3 debuffs for reads other abilities. Each passive prevents future matching Careful Study debuffs. So basically, he just analyzes the opponent and puts these Careful Study debuffs on them in order for more abilities to use. Heavy attacks, also known as the Curb Stomp, on the last hit, pauses the pre-fight ability for 3 seconds. Don't really know what I said the last hit because the heavy attack's only 1 hit. But, yeah. So special attacks, if no pre-fight debuffs were selected, special attacks are all unblockable guaranteed. So that's really good. Special attack 1, when this attack is activated, 100% chance to place a taunt debuff and stagger the opponent for each 9 seconds. And taunt debuffs and stagger. Taunt debuffs are, of course, what they say. They taunt, they bait out. Specials easier. And opponents that are taunted have their attack rating reduced by 40% and have a 70% higher chance to activate a special attack. This taunt is removed when the opponent activates any special attack, so it's removed immediately if you activate another one. The next time a staggered opponent triggers a buff, that buff and all other buffs triggered at the same time will be immediately nullified. So, of course, staggers are for nullifying buffs, and taunt is for baiting out specials. Special attack 2. When this attack is activated, re-trigger Mr. Fantastic's selected pre-fight ability each once. Then the last hit shocks the opponent, dealing 411 energy damage over 5 seconds. He would be even better than he already is if that shock damage did a little bit more. And Special Attack T, Special Attack 3 involves Herbie, which, if you guys do not know, Herbie is the dank little robot that runs around the Baxter building with the Fantastic Four. He's basically their Jarvis. And Special Attack 3, if the opponent has at least 1 debuff, gain a passive Fury for 20 seconds, increasing attack rating by 137 for each debuff on the opponent. So that Fury buffs always help. This one is particularly good though. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to the attributes. Attributes, his hero rating is not very, he's not very leveled up yet. I'm gonna take him to rank 4 eventually. But hero rating 3094, challenge rating is 80, rank is 105, 25 out of 25 for level, and health is 9345 plus 308. Critical rating is 568, critical damage rating 668. Armor penetration is 000 for block penetration and critical resistance. Armor rating is 166, and block proficiency is 3378. Now, the only reason I show the attributes is so you guys can see the difference between my Mr. Fantastic and others. Of course, others are going to be more leveled up, but, however, I just like to show that off. Now let's go ahead and go over the synergy bonuses. Now, this will be a lot to cover because synergy bonuses are Mr. Fantastic's very good thing. So, if you guys did not know, in the synergies, just specifically between the Fantastic Four, there's a lot of attention to detail, mainly from the fact of animations that are put in from these other characters. For example, you can see on his on the 4 on his chest, each section is lit up for each Fantastic Four that's on the team. I'm not really sure why it's lit up right now, but who knows. Clicked on the wrong thing. Synergy bonuses. So Herbie is the first one, is Mr. Fantastic's. So other synergy members for Thing, Human Torch, and Invisible Woman, if at or below 20% health at the start of the fight, heal 10% of their max health over 6 seconds. Otherwise, gain 60% of borrowed power over 6 seconds. So if they're above, they just gain more power, and if they're below, they have a really good heal. So Herbie actually flies in. You can see Herbie in the animation, which is really, really cool. The Fantastic Four, also known as the Four Synergy. If all champions in Synergy are present, Thing, whenever you would gain a rocks. So this is if you have all of them on your team. Rock Stack gain an additional 1. Human Torch, Incinerate, and Nova Flame duration increased by 30%. Invisible Woman, invisibility only has 15% chance to unpause during a well-timed block. Mr. Fantastic, for each unique debuff on the opponent, they take 4% of Mr. Fantastic's current attack rating as direct damage per second. And those are, of course, for the 4. Do Us Part, if you do not know, Invisible Woman and Reed Richards are married. I think their son's a really powerful character. I can't remember what his name is, though. Mr. Fantastic debuffs last 25% longer. And unique synergy does not stack with the duplicate synergies, as well as the last one that I forgot to say. The Council of Reeds, which is actually a really Rick and Morty ripped off this a lot, because the Council of Reeds, was it? It was Rick and Morty and the Flash that ripped this off, because as we know, the Fantastic Four came before both those TV shows. Although I don't, that's probably a thing in the comics too, so I can't really say too much about it. But it's the Council of Reeds. It's across the multiverse where Reed Richards come together to form New Thinking, which is literally what Harrison Wells did and Rick does from Rick and Morty. But increased attack rating by 0%. The potency of this synergy is increased by a flat 30% for each other Mr. Fantastic on your team. Does not stack with duplicate synergies. That one's not too helpful because you're not going to use like a 2-star Mr. Fantastic and 5-star Mr. Fantastic just for that synergy. But it's still there. College Rivals. Mr. Fantastic gains 5% of his max power each time a buff is nullified or its duration expires off the opponent. And Dr. Doom, of course, the all-powerful Doom. Heavy attacks apply up to 1 armor break debuff for 10 seconds, reducing armor rating by 15%, and does not stack with duplicate synergies. So yeah, let's go move on to the tags and bio, then we'll get into this gameplay. They moved the tag section down from where it used to be to here. Combat style is offensive and raw damage. Defensive is utility. Attributes is hero, size medium. Organization is Fantastic Four and the Illuminati. Reed Richards is a brilliant scientist, as I already mentioned, who spearheaded an experimental voyage into space, accompanied by his friends and family. For example, the rest of the 4, which the movie, the shitty remake, specifically, got this completely wrong. The one with Chris Evans actually didn't get it that bad, and those ones weren't actually that bad. They get more crap, basically because of the remake. That's why the Fantastic Four gets crap on their movies. But the one with Rise of Silver Surfer and the first one wasn't actually that terrible to me. But who spearheaded an experimental voyage into space, accompanied by his friends and family. An accident occurred during the trip, and the ship was flooded with cosmic rays. After crashing back to Earth, Reed found that he could stretch and elongate his body in possible ways. He could become the leader of the Fantastic Four. He became the leader of the Fantastic Four, and used both his powers of elasticity and his genuine intellect to deftly handle all threats, galactic to microscopic. So yeah, Mr. Fantastic is of course the leader, and he's one of the best leaders ever. So yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and get into the gameplay. That's probably what the main point of these videos are, but we'll go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead. It should be still recording. Let's hope so. But yeah, of course we're going to take him into. I'm debating still whether to take them into quests for champion reviews or just do a quick, just do an arena match. I think quest is the best way to go, so let's go ahead and do that. Sorry if you guys hear my dog shaking around. She's just sitting there. We will do expert, and I think this is what we shall do from now on for champion reviews. It does take a little bit longer, but you know what? No, let's not do that. I think for champion reviews, I think we'll just continue to do quick matches, but we'll just have to spend some units just in case I die and don't show all the moves. But I think it's easier and keeps the video from being so long if we do not have if we do a quest. But I think it's just the best way to do is a quick match, because that way it's easier. You don't get to show as much things, but I already explained them all, since it's considered a quick match. But if we die, I'll have to use a little bit of units. Of course, Dr. Doom, so this is going to be great. But, yeah, so I think it's better. And I don't have, for the quest, if I were to do a quest, I would have to use other characters that I would have to already have done champion review for, but we'll see here. So yeah, as you can see, his moves are completely different from any other stretchy character in this game. For example, Kamala Crap. And yeah, so here is the curb stomp for the heavy attack, because he literally curb stomps you. And yeah, so let's go ahead and do a special one. Special one is really cool. And there's the taunt debuff and the staggered. I'm trying not to get him to a special 3, because that will probably suck. Doom's really good, so I'll probably suffer. And of course I just gotta let him hit me a little bit, just so I can show them moves. Mainly just the specials. Alright, special 2. Special 2 hit you with some nanobots. Smash and shock, which he is shock immune, just so you guys know if you did not know that already. Yeah, so I'm probably just gonna let him hit me a lot, just so I can get to the special 3. Hopefully we don't suffer before he does that. He's just spamming me with specials. Okay, I did not mean to do that. Let's just hit him here. If he does a special, he's not even throwing a special 3, so, and now he does, so I'm probably gonna die, but oh well. We can spend some units. But yeah, you get a sneak peek for Dr. Doom's champion review, which I don't think I've done yet. But there you go. Dr. Doom's so cool. Probably the best character in this game, in my opinion. And there's you see his evade. Yeah, I couldn't have done it. He would have killed me if I would have done anything. But Mr. Fantastic's outro is really cool. Let's do one more quick match just to show his special 3 and hopefully some more abilities, but yeah, pretty cool. We'll check if I have a 3-star Mr. Fantastic. I know I don't have a 4-star one, but we'll check for a 3-star just in case I don't have to spend units. See, I have so many I don't even remember who I have or not. And that's a big no. So, can I reset this? Yes, let's do it. Alright, so we'll go ahead and recharge Mr. Fantastic for 10 units, which is not too bad. And we'll go ahead and take a little bit of a take 2 on this one. And go again. Would show us free fight abilities. You can only do that in quests, so I would be showing those if I was in a quest, so maybe that's one of the benefit to that, but oh well. We're mostly just getting to the special 3 here. Sunspot's really good, so I'm probably Dunyan Rings if I try to let him hit me. Oh, that did so much damage. Just hit me a little bit. Okay. If this kills me, whoop-de-doo. More units to spend. That's great. It shouldn't kill me, but it might. It didn't. Special 3 time. Yay. Alright, so there, Herbie, look at his dank ass, bro. Lots of portals. I really like how his special 3 is not all Herbie just smacks you. I really like how his special 3 is not all involved in his powers, but more on his smarts with technology and stuff. So I think that was really cool. But yeah, I think that concludes this champion review. We'll probably just keep doing quick matches for future videos. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And hit that bell notification to get informed on new content. And I will see you guys in the next video.